All right, I have my shading started. I'm going to go ahead and continue. What I've done though is I've created my viewfinder, because for me it's a lot easier just to look at one little place at a time versus the entire image, because I tend to get overwhelmed. So if I look here, I've got all of this pretty much dark value coming in here, which is this area up here. So I'm going to get that blocked in. Again, I'm holding my pencil on the side and I'm using small strokes, very little pressure, because you can always add value. Really hard to take away value if you've made something too dark. If I were to go in here and make these big strokes and press really hard, there's no way my blending stump would help me blend. I'd still see my strokes. So I want to make sure that I'm overlapping my strokes. Again, I can add more value. I can always get darker by layering. But keep in mind, when you use your blending stump, it's going to pull the value kind of through the piece. So I'm going to stop here, because if I look at this area here, it gets a little bit lighter. And I know that once I start blending this area, then I am going to be pulling all of this pencil through into this area. So now I should be matching my values just fine. And if I'm not, I can go back in and add value, but again, it's easier to add than take away. So now I look back and say, okay, this is my blackest area. I'm going to go ahead and add more. So I really want this to match my darkest areas in my piece. Same technique, using the side of my pencil. I'm not straight up and down. Now, regular pencils are only going to get so dark. If we were using a charcoal pencil or an HB pencil, we'd get these nice rich blacks, but we're not. We're using regular pencil, so we can only do with what we have. So I've got that. I'm pretty comfortable with this, and if I look here at this line, this is really light, okay? But I've got some shading coming in here, and I've got some graphite residue on my blending stump. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of block out where that comes in. Now there's obviously nothing coming out of my blending stump, but I can kind of use it to block that value in. So that now when I go back, I've done a pretty good job of matching where that would be coming in. I want to make sure this looks pretty good. I'm matching okay. That's going to kind of fade away. What I want to avoid is seeing these swirly marks I'm making with my blending stump. So the key to getting rid of those is always overlap. Just keep overlapping. I'm not really using any pressure at all. I'm holding my stump very similar to the way that I held my pencil. And that just kind of fades away. Looks like there's a little bit of shadow coming in right there in that corner. And again, I'm just looking at this spot because it's so much easier to work with one small area. You can always take away if you've done something really lightly, but again, hard to take away value that's really drawn with a heavy hand.